A case stemming from vandalism claims at one of America's most famous landmarks is now becoming a courtroom headache for the U.S. Department of Justice. Lawyers for former Olympian David Hearn have filed a new motion arguing that prosecutors moved ahead with charges despite evidence that pointed in a very different direction. Their filing says the Trump administration either knew or should have known that Hearn was not responsible for the damage alleged at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. According to the defense, signs of trouble with the pool liner were already visible for weeks before the indictment, and those problems had been documented through photographs, video, and public reports. Hearn's legal team says prosecutors disregarded readily available evidence and filed felony charges before fully evaluating the information needed to support the case. The attorneys are now asking the judge to dismiss the case permanently so that it cannot be revived later. They also argue that a key eyewitness was never presented to the grand jury and that an important damages witness could not identify additional repair costs caused by Hearn. The filing further points to contractor Atlantic Industrial Coatings, saying the company had publicly acknowledged before the indictment that parts of the $14.7 million project required repair. Hearn has said he was on a bike ride on June 19 when he briefly touched a peeling section of the liner and immediately let go when a park worker instructed him to do so. The legal challenge comes just a day after U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro moved to dismiss the charges, saying newly produced evidence showed Hearn was not responsible for the damage. Pirro's office said the problems were linked instead to a rushed and faulty installation connected to efforts to complete the project before America 250 events around the 4th of July. U.S. President Donald Trump has continued to insist that the reflecting pool was vandalized and publicly criticized Pirro's decision to drop the case. What began as a headline-grabbing vandalism allegation has now become a major dispute over whether the government ever had a solid case in the first place and whether that case should be gone for good. As Hearn's lawyers push for a permanent dismissal, the controversy is expanding beyond the courtroom and into a growing political clash in Washington. Caitlin Collins has turned the Trump administration's reflecting pool controversy into a public embarrassment, airing a montage that she says exposes major contradictions inside the government. The dispute erupted after U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro dropped charges against former Olympian David Hearn and 3 others who had been accused of vandalizing the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. In a court filing, prosecutors said government records strongly suggested the damage was caused by rushed and faulty construction work rather than criminal vandalism. On CNN, Collins said the filing put Pirro not only at odds with Trump, but also with earlier public statements made by Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, and Pirro herself. Collins then played clips of Leavitt calling vandalism a very real problem, Burgum discussing alleged efforts to damage the monument, and Pirro previously claiming someone was intent on causing incredible damage to the pool. The controversy has also become a broader embarrassment because the reflecting pool renovation was meant to showcase Trump's ability to build and deliver projects. The pool later had to be drained again after the liner failed and algae turned the water green. U.S. President Trump reacted angrily, saying in the Oval Office that Pirro had folded like an umbrella and publicly declaring that he disagreed with her decision 100%.
They're making too much money. Okay, based on a shortage, they're making too much money. I don't like it. And I should be the last one to say, because I'm a big free enterprise guy, nobody bigger. And, you know, you're going to see oil, when we're finished with Iran, you're going to see the prices drop through the floor. But they made too much money, too much money. Chevron, too much money. ExxonMobil, too much money. When you look at one company where they made 12 times what they made the year before, they're going to give some of that back to the public. And they better cut the retail price, the consumer price. Too much money. You're surprised I'm saying it? I'll say it loud and clear. I'm not happy about it. Go ahead.
Would you consider going to Congress if they come in and try to roll it back, the new Democratic mayor?
Well, you had a mayor who's, I guess she's a communist. I mean, she says she's a socialist, but I guess she's a communist based on what she says. But I have not met her yet. I look forward to meeting her. Would I federalize? Basically, you're saying federalize D.C. Yeah, well, I'm allowed to do that. Would I do it? If they want to, we took something that was in deep trouble. It was a graffiti-filled, crime-filled mess. We turned it into Shangri-La. But these monuments look better than they did when they were originally built. Not just a little fix-up. We made them the way they were, plus. But these monuments look better than they did when they were originally built. Not just a little fix-up. We made them the way they were, plus. And everyone's so proud. The biggest, one of the bigger jobs was, not really the biggest, believe it or not, but one of the biggest was the reflecting pool. And we did a great job. We sandblasted the stone outside. It was granite, so it has a long life. We did a great job. We got very expensive material to put on top of the surface that always leaked because it was stone. It was a stone surface. Always leaked. And we put it on, and it was beautiful. Now, we have photographs or tapes, like moving cameras, right? We have them where people are on the side cutting it with a box knife. Now, I'm not saying I was 100% thrilled with the contractor, but the contractor was rushing. We wanted to get it open for July 4th, and we got it done. But in addition, there was vandalism. We did a great job. We sandblasted the stone outside. It was granite, so it has a long life. Anyway, it looked beautiful. And then they cut it, and they vandalized. And we weren't necessarily thrilled with the contractor, but they did a job, and they were fixing any problems. But then it got carried away because the judge was extremely unfriendly to Janine. And frankly, I think she choked because the judge was really vicious. Instead of going after the people that did it, the judge went after her and went after her department. And I guess she choked. And we put it on, and it was beautiful. Now, we have photographs, or we essentially use a very high-grade swimming pool type material, which was my idea. I was very proud of that idea. And by the way, I didn't know the contractor. Everyone said the contractor. I didn't know the contractor. But when it was completed, it was perfect. And I was disappointed with Janine Pirro, really disappointed with Janine Pirro. She folded like an umbrella, and people get away with things, and it's a disgrace. But we're very proud of Lafayette Park. Now we have a big decision to make. Do we take the pavers that are red, you know, the red brick pavers, and do we change them into a granite? It's a gray granite. They're beautiful, but they're not the original.